Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a true classic of Japanese literature, Natsume Soseki's I Am a Cat. Now, you probably know it as this charming, funny story told from the perspective of a very witty, nameless cat. But what if I told you that hiding just beneath that quirky surface is one of the sharpest critiques of modern life you'll ever read? Let's peel back the layers. So let's just start with the big question, the one that kind of reframes this whole book. Is this novel, famous for its hilarious, philosophical cat narrator, really just about the day-to-day life of a pet? The answer is a huge no. What Soseki was actually doing was crafting this brilliant, scathing critique of capitalism and the rapid modernization that was sweeping through Japan's Meiji era. He used this simple, funny story about a cat as the perfect cover for a much, much deeper message. And the key to unlocking this whole thing? Well, it's the narrator himself. By choosing a nameless cat to tell the story, Soseki found the perfect satirical tool. This quote really gets to the heart of what Soseki was grappling with. See, in the Japan of the early 20th century, everything was changing, and money was suddenly becoming the center of the universe. But Soseki saw this as a total double-edged sword. You needed it to survive, sure, but it was also this source of incredible anxiety and suffering. Okay, so how on earth does a cat expose the flaws of an entire economic system? The secret, it turns out, is all in his unique point of view. Think about it. The cat is a total outsider. He doesn't get human rules or social status or why people are so stressed out all the time. He just observes. And through his innocent, logical, and often completely confused eyes, all the absurd things humans do are suddenly thrown into sharp relief. He sees a world where every single thing is being boiled down to its price tag. And what he sees is that the old ways of thinking were just fading away. They were being replaced by this brand new value system that was based on three things: money, power, and pure, cold practicality. Soseki saw this as society being hollowed out, where art, tradition, and feeling were only judged by whether they were profitable. And this isn't just some abstract idea, right? Soseki brings this conflict to life in his characters. He creates this massive clash of two completely different worlds. This whole fight is basically summed up by two characters. On one side, you have the cat's owner, the master. He's this old-school intellectual who lives in his head in a world of books and ideas. And on the other side, his neighbor, Kaneda, a businessman who represents the nouveau riche, the new money. Kaneda only cares about one thing: cash. And because of that, he has all the power, leaving the poor master totally helpless against him. The master's study, his shosai, isn't just a room. It's a symbol of that old world of scholarship and thought. It's his sanctuary. But the book makes it painfully clear that the walls of that sanctuary are paper thin, and the harsh logic of the market is just relentlessly breaking its way inside. And this invasion of capitalist logic, it doesn't just stop at the world of ideas. Soseki shows how it starts to seep into the most intimate, personal parts of human life. We're talking about love and marriage. You see, before money became king, Japanese society was held together by these really important, complex ideas. You had giri, which is all about social duty and honor, and you had ninjo, which is about human feeling, empathy, and compassion. These were the invisible threads that connected everyone. So, what happens to those deep, human values when a new system comes along that only cares about your bank account? Well, they get tossed aside. They're seen as inefficient, impractical, and at the end of the day, completely worthless. And this is the devastating results. In the novel, marriage proposals stop being about love or connection at all. They become these cold, calculated business deals. All that giri and ninjo, all that duty and compassion is just stripped away and replaced with a bottom line. It's brutal. Now, what's so powerful about all this is that it wasn't just some academic exercise for Soseki. No, this critique was born from his own really profound, personal pain. The research around his work points to this concept of hikasaki, this feeling of being literally torn apart. Soseki felt like his entire identity, his entire life, was defined by these deep, painful splits, and he poured all of that anguish right onto the page. And you can see these conflicts everywhere in his own story. He felt torn between being an individual and being a subject of the state. He was adopted and then returned to his birth family as a kid, which left him feeling like a commodity that was bought and sold. He was even torn between being a serious academic and a popular novelist. All of these personal struggles came back to that same fundamental problem he wrote about, the painful clash between human connection and cold, hard cash. And I Am a Cat was just the beginning. As this quote makes clear, the problem of money and property wasn't just a theme for Soseki, it was the theme. It was the core obsession that drove his entire literary career. It's the question at the very heart of everything he wrote. And that really brings us to our final thought here. Soseki was writing this over a century ago, watching with alarm as industrial capitalism was just getting started. So now, today, in a world that is so completely saturated with market logic in a way he could have never even imagined, his questions about what we value, what it means to be human, and what gets lost when everything has a price, well, they feel more urgent than ever, don't they?